When I was born, rumours were that I was brown due to my mother's vast consumption of coffee. Olive skin is not uncommon in the sun-drenched Isles, but all my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents were of an Anglo complexion. Regarding the brew, my mother and her mother before her and all the mothers before that drank copious amounts. And so did I. My mother was known to drink 20 cups in a day, a fact which drew as much judgment in Australia
Nonda, o caffè sucrioni.
as it did in Greece. My mother put coffee to several uses. To prevent fruit fly, she sprinkled it on blossoming citrus trees. When my head ached, she placed coffee grounds on slices of lemon, wrapped them in the tea towel, and tied it around my forehead. I would imagine I was a brave Spartan warrior, returning from battle whenever she did this. She mixed cafés with water and fed it to her roses. Her rose petal jam surpassed all her rivals. Coffee for me was the revered drink, but my mother would never refer to it as simply coffee. It was the good medicine, the fertilizer, the protector, the life giver, the storyteller, and the truth.
Nonda?
Brenda?
It is you. God, it's been so long.
Yeah, 10, 15 years?
Yeah, I haven't seen you since school. I didn't even know you were back in the country. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been alright. Moved back a few years ago and I heard you and Adrian got married?
Yeah, Adrian's doing really well for himself. We just moved house. You've never met our daughter, have you?
No, I haven't. What's her name again?
Rosie.
Rosie. That's a nice name.
Nonda, you have to meet her. She's such a sweetie. Why don't you come over to dinner at the house this weekend and meet the family? Adrian has a chef we use for special occasions.
Yeah, I'd like that. Seeing her again opened a floodgate of fond memories. I had always cared for Brenda. We were inseparable since we met at school. Having to leave her and help care for my yaya in Greece was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
What did I tell you before? Stop messing around. People are waiting to eat.
Adrian, the night is young. Let them have their fun. I'll get it. Nonda.
Brenda? I almost didn't recognize you.
Oh, yeah, no, Adrian prefers...
You look lovely.
I'm so glad you could make it. Dinner's ready. Do you come join us? We've strived for something a little different tonight. We decided to do away with the chef and cook for ourselves. Surprised everyone with some Anatolian cuisine. Nonda, I hope it's okay. I know you promised me that you'd invite me over one night for dinner and your family would cook up a storm, but I got in first.
No, thank you. It looks beautiful. If you had told me, I'd probably believe it was my own mother's cooking.
Hope that was meant as a compliment.
Well, allow me to introduce everyone, Nonda. I'm sure you know Elliot and Kylie.
No, I'm sorry. Did you go to our university?
You don't know them? Well, Elliot here is a famous playwright from America, and Kylie is a famous television actress. You've never seen The Tender Years.
Darling, he probably doesn't watch much television.
And this is Walter. Walter here is a cosmetic surgeon from the city hospital. He's also a wine aficionado.
Oh, you know me too well, Adrian.
And this is our charming daughter, Rosalie. Rosie, say hello to our guest.
It's nice to meet you, Nonda.
Classy, spunky, smooth, with a capacity to smolder.
Sounds just like your mother, Elliot. Listen, my friend. That is an $1,800 bottle of 1976 Grange Hermitage. And I would suggest if that's not to your liking, perhaps you should give it to Kylie.
I never appreciated wine the way some people do. For me, it was only a digestive. For me and my family, there was coffee, and only coffee. Our neighbours wondered if my mother ever slept.
So these lines here mean the drinker will get married?
My mother was a reader,
Sometimes not.
like her mother,
You also need to look at the remnants here, if you want to be sure.
and she taught me to read too. I got better at reading coffee as I got older, but the truth always eluded me. It was the truth that magnetized our many visitors to our home.
What is it you're looking for?
Tell me what's wrong.
Ο σύντροφός σου ακόμα σ' αγαπάει και ποτέ δεν θυμώνει μαζί σου. Αυτή τη στιγμή προχωρεί μόνος του, αλλά θα γυρίσει πάλι σε σένα.
Alethea?
Αλήθεια.
Sometimes, my mother told me people weren't ready for the truth.
Just rub like olives.
So, when you first came to Australia, could you speak English?
Polylegal. That means very little.
That must have been difficult for you. Kids, they were a lot harsher back then.
At times, yes. Fortunately, there were the nice kids too, like Brenda, who stood up for me when I got picked on.
Well, that's Brenda for you, isn't it? Shows had a good heart.
You two have done a great job with the food.
Thank you. But you know, it was mostly Rosie.
Cheers to Rosie.
Cheers to Rosie.
Cheers.
To Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie.
So for coffee, I thought we'd go Greek for a change. I know you know the drink.
Yes. More than the usual, even for a Greek. In fact, my mother and grandmother both prided themselves on being readers.
Don't tell me you believe in that superstitious nonsense.
Walter, that's not very sensitive.
I'm just calling it like it is.
So, can you read the coffee cups too?
I know how to read them, yes. But I don't think they've ever told me the Alethea.
What's the Alethea?
It's the truth.
What's the truth?
It's something grown-ups know, but don't want to tell anyone else.
Read the cups. It'll be fun.
Yeah, read the cups.
Yeah, why not? Be a bit of a laugh.
Sure. Why not?
Elliot's secret is modest. He feigns enjoyment of tropical and exotic fruits. He really is an apple and pear man. But that would be way too mainstream for someone who supposes himself so flamboyant.
He's right. How do you like them apples?
I think you could have come up with a little more. What type of secret is that? Try again with Kylie's and add some real spice.
You secretly yearn to sing on stage. But your husband says you screech like a banshee.
It's not true.
Banshee would be too kind a word.
Well, that was all in good fun. Suppose we call it a night, huh?
No, that won't do at all. You're getting better. I almost believed you there for one moment. I love the way you're so serious.
Nonda.
Well, go on, read it.
You, Walter, have a thing for young women. You've devoured one after another. You only feel worthy when you have an accessory clinging from your arm, but they never last long because before too long they see you for who you truly are. An egotistical bore.
Well, isn't he a laugh?
What's more, your quarry for this evening sits next to you. Although surely you realise she's married and finds you incredibly obnoxious and distasteful.
All right, that's enough, okay? This joke of yours has just gone far enough.
He likes a good chase. Persistence is Walter's motto. If you want any proof, search through his mobile.
Okay, that's enough of this crap. Okay, it's one thing to have a bit of a joke, but this is just completely juvenile.
Well, I think we'll be calling it a night.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. Well, I've got to be on set tomorrow really early, so I need my beauty sleep. Thank you, Brenda. It's been a very interesting evening.
And it was lovely to meet you too, Nonda.
Thank you both for coming. I'll...
Yeah.
Come on, Rosalie, time for bed.
What does mine say?
Oh, wow. I don't believe this.
What is it?
It says here you're going to be a very famous chef. And you're going to have your own restaurant.
Really?
Thanks for dinner tonight, Rosie.
Can you teach me how to read the cups one day?
Rosalie, bed.
Well, I suppose it is getting a bit late.
Yes, I think it's time we all went to bed. You'll have to excuse Walter. Sometimes he takes himself a little bit too seriously.
No, that was my fault. I suppose I took the joke a bit too far.
Perhaps.
Well, I'd better be off.
Please stay a little bit longer.
I really should go.
You haven't read my cup yet.
You're no longer sure if you connect with the people in this household. You talk to your husband. He listens, but he isn't there. You worry. And when you're sad, you think of other things. Imagine lovers, another life. In your dreams, you walk down grey, cobblestoned alleys, smoky buildings, lined both sides and above an ashen sky.
Read it.
Whose is it?
It's my husband's.
I shouldn't. He's not around to hear me.
Please.
What is it you're looking for?
Just tell me what's wrong.
Your husband has a secret, albeit a common and vulgar one. There is another woman. She's larger than you, duller than you, dimmer than you. But she presents his life with new scenery. He connects with her, who in turn connects with him. At least twice a week. I'm so sorry. I now indulge in at least a dozen cups a day, like my mother and grandmother did. People come to me now for readings, and the truth surges forth from now and then. But the storyteller gratifies most of my customers. 6 months later, Brenda came to visit. She didn't want a reading. She came to thank me. We dine 2 or 3 times a week, and when she touches my arm, now I touch hers back. My mother came from Greece one day. She seemed concerned about something and told me she wanted to read my cup. She said nothing, but gave me a disapproving glance and left. She won't return my calls or reply to my mail. The truth was released that evening. But there are winds in my mother's village. They whip through the cobblestone streets, waft through the cypresses and pines, to eventually roost in the household ears. They whisper that at night's end, the truth holds, allowing the storyteller to intervene with a tale of its own.